We are currently pretending that gluing an oversized iPad to the dashboard of a 2.6-ton battery pack is the absolute pinnacle of human engineering, while the actual mechanical soul of the automobile is being quietly euthanized in a Stuttgart boardroom. We are standing here today looking at the 2027 Mercedes-Benz S-Class facelift, and I am telling you that we are witnessing the expensive, slow-motion suicide of the world's greatest automotive legacy. And the worst part? We're all supposed to just sit here, nod our heads, and clap because the dashboard looks like a high-end smartphone showroom in a duty-free airport terminal. Tell me, since when did the unquestionable pinnacle of luxury become a pathetic race to see who can glue the most glass over the cheapest plastic? We are living in a twisted timeline where Mercedes-Benz, the company that literally invented the internal combustion automobile, thinks that if they blind you with enough high-definition pixels and ambient lighting, you won't notice they've traded their mechanical soul for disposable, rotting tech. Look, I'm standing here in Hamburg with this 2027 S-Class, and the first thing you need to know is that the entire luxury car market has gone completely, irrevocably mad. Let's break down the math, because this is the part that should make any sane person's head explode. The car sitting right here is the S580e. It is a plug-in hybrid featuring a 6-cylinder engine, and it costs 152,000 euros. Meanwhile, the actual S580, the one with a glorious, proper mechanical masterpiece of a V8 engine, costs 148,000 euros. Read that sentence again. You are literally paying a 4,000 euro premium to lose 2 cylinders and add several hundred pounds of dead battery weight that will eventually become a highly toxic chemical paperweight in about 8 years. Why are we doing this? Who asked for this? We are doing this because of a spreadsheet in Brussels or a regulatory mandate in Washington. It's an absolute joke. We're pretending that a 3.0-liter inline-6 dragging a massive, heavy lithium-ion anchor is somehow the future, while the V8, the very engine configuration that defined the authority of the S-Class for generations, is now being treated like the budget option for the unrefined. Hear me out. When you take a car that already weighs more than a small house and you bolt a hybrid system onto it, you aren't saving the planet. You are fighting the laws of physics with a losing hand, and physics always wins. This S580e boasts 612 horsepower on paper. Sure, it hits 60 miles per hour in just over 4 seconds. It looks great on a spec sheet. But what happens in the real world when that measly 60-ish miles of electric range runs out? Because it will run out, usually halfway through your commute. I'll tell you what happens. You are left with a stressed, overworked 6-cylinder engine, desperately trying to haul 5,700 pounds of German steel and dead lithium up a hill. Think about the tire wear. Imagine what 2.6 tons does to a set of soft compound Pirelli P0s when you try to take a corner at anything above a walking pace. Think about the suspension components, the air struts, the control arms, the bushings, screaming for mercy every single time you hit a pothole. You cannot cheat inertia. This isn't engineering anymore. It's a massive, heavy compromise wrapped in very silver metallic paint. And then we get to the interior. My God, the interior. Mercedes used to talk about sensual purity. They used to talk about vault-like build quality. Now it feels like they just gave up, fired the engineers, and called the IT department to design the cabin. This Hyperscreen, or whatever pillar-to-pillar glass marketing buzzword they're using this week, is the ultimate evidence of intellectual laziness in modern car design. Let me drop a truth bomb on you. It is a direct copy-paste job from the cheaper E-Class. Think about that for a second. You spend S-Class money, real generational wealth, I run a multinational corporation money, and you get the exact same dashboard layout as a mid-level executive sedan used as a taxi outside the Frankfurt airport. Where is the bespoke craftsmanship? Where is the specialness that used to justify the 6-figure price tag? It's gone, replaced by a supplier-sourced OLED panel. The screen itself is just a giant, unavoidable magnet for fingerprints, dust, and glare. I've never used the passenger display in my life, and I bet you haven't either. Who is it for? The passenger has a smartphone in their pocket that works 10 times better. It's a redundant, glowing rectangle that adds absolutely zero value to the driving experience, but I guarantee you it adds plenty of zeros to the repair bill once the warranty inevitably expires. We've traded tactile, knurled aluminum buttons, things that clicked with purpose, things that felt like they were machined from billet aluminum for eternity, for haptic feedback that feels like clicking a broken ballpoint pen. It's numb. It's hollow. You have to take your eyes off the road to change the cabin temperature. It's the automotive equivalent of a frozen microwave dinner served on a gold plate, and they are charging you a premium for it. Let's look at the details, because the details are where the S-Class used to dominate. Look at the key. It's the same hollow, lightweight plastic fob we've had for years. It feels cheap, and it feels entirely disconnected from a car that costs as much as a suburban home in the Midwest. If you're paying north of $150,000, the mere weight of the key in your pocket should remind you of the immense engineering prowess you've purchased. Instead, it feels like a toy you pull out of a cereal box. And those air vents? The ones that used to have those beautiful, satisfying mechanical organ stops? They move electronically now. You have to go into a submenu on the touchscreen to adjust where the air blows on your face. Why? Is it because humans have suddenly become too weak to move a plastic tab 2 inches to the left? No. It's because it's another stepper motor that can break, another line of software code that can glitch, and another reason to force you back to the dealership service bay when it inevitably gets stuck pointing at the roof in the middle of summer. The exterior is actually the only part of this car that still remembers it has the right to be called a Mercedes-Benz. The dark chrome, the aggressive AMG line trim, the way the illuminated stars are integrated into the headlight clusters. It looks genuinely dominant. It has undeniable road presence. When you see it in the rearview mirror, it commands respect. But here is the harsh reality. A car isn't a statue you put in a museum. It's a physical space you inhabit. And when you pull that door handle, step inside and see that massive, soulless wall of glass, the illusion of timeless luxury shatters instantly. Think back to the W140 generation of the 1990s. That was a vehicle built to a standard, not a price point. It was so over-engineered that you could drive it through a brick wall, dust off the hood ornament, and keep going for another 300,000 miles. It had mechanical soul. This 2027 model? This isn't a car that will be a classic in 30 years. Nobody is going to be restoring a 2027 S580e in the year 2050. It's a tech gadget with a 4-year shelf life. The day the warranty expires is the day this car becomes an utter liability. Within half a decade, the main processor will start lagging, the over-the-air updates will stop being supported, the screens will start delaminating in the sun, and the hybrid battery will degrade to the point where it's dead weight. The S-Class was always known as the best car in the world because it relentlessly pushed the boundaries of what was mechanically possible in an automobile. It gave us ABS. It gave us electronic stability control. It gave us radar cruise. Now, it's just pushing the boundaries of how many digital distractions we can legally fit on a dashboard before the driver crashes into a telephone pole. They've taken a massive step back. They've traded their unbeaten mechanical status for a desperate seat at the table with Silicon Valley tech bros, and frankly, as a car guy, it's embarrassing to watch. We are being sold a very expensive lie that complexity equals luxury. It doesn't. True luxury is simplicity executed with absolute, unyielding perfection. True luxury is a mechanical switch that feels the same on day 1 as it does on day 10,000. This is just digital noise, wrapped in leather, waiting to break. And deep down, Mercedes knows it.